How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be featuring the Kid, the Tier 6 Premium American Destroyer. It's been quite a minute since we've last featured a Kid video. Lately we've been going back and playing some of the old ships that I've just not played in such a long time, including stuff like Atlanta, like Donskoy, and a bunch of other less played, less popular ships. So yeah, we're revisiting the Kid. Not that the Kid is bad or anything, we just don't go below like tier 8 ever anymore, just to avoid CVs as much as we can. And I mean, we do sort of have a tier 8 version of Kid in the Laffy, although Laffy is somewhat a bit lackluster, at least for a American destroyer that should be good with air quotes anti-air. But yeah, playing Kid again, these shrunken maps do always kind of annoy me. I'd very much rather have just normal size maps for like tier 5 and up, but I don't know, slow battleships like New Mexico, I feel like they could probably still play on normal size maps as long as they don't like YOLO into something down the flank and chase them to the border, or like be in their New Mexico running away to the border and then somehow surviving in the corner and then having to go back to the middle of the map. I feel like it's more of a positioning issue than an actual map is too big for the tier issue. But yeah, anyway, we got a CV match, so having DFAA actually is going to be kind of useful. Although we did spawn on this left flank, and everything on the left flank is kind of just running away, going to just sit at the island. And it looks like the enemy destroyers, both of them, are actually on the other side. So instead of just sitting here and chasing ships through their spawn, I decide I should go over and help the other flank with the DDs, and our battleships and cruisers that are just pushing down the left flank, they can eventually cap A. So giving up a little bit of XP to kind of go and deal with the destroyers that are probably causing the biggest problem for our team right now. Enemy Moz get spotted. There's a bunch of battleships that are just lemming this way, so we do have to kind of be careful, because if we're not, we might get caught and just pushed by way too many ships. Having one torpedo rack that is fairly slow torps, I mean, they do a decent amount of damage for the tier, but such short range, we do have to get close in order to use it. Seeing a enemy Algerie charging in, we accidentally get spotted because the destroyer actually leaves his smoke, and well, we start shooting because why not? Nothing is shooting at us yet, so I don't think we necessarily need to smoke up. But battleships and spawn and this Algerie start shooting at us, so it's time to smoke up and try to disengage as best we can. But getting shot at by the Algerie, we kind of got spotted and forced him to go broadside to use his rear turrets, and in doing so he gets dev struck by one of our battleships in spawn. So lucky for us, the cruiser that was probably just going to charge straight into our smoke goes down. And now we can probably just sit here and try to farm whatever we can, because we do have a fairly long smoke screen. Our DD though, that was kind of smoked up in the corner on the cap. He did go down though, so we're not going to have a whole lot of spotting. We're kind of going to have to rely on our battleships that are going out to the border, and hopefully they can spot some of the battleships and the cruisers that are just charging straight in through sea, because they are going to probably be the things that are on top of my forehead very soon. Since nothing spotted all of our battleships behind islands, I think it's time to see if maybe we can sneak a peek at something if they're pushing in. We do also have our torpedoes loaded, so if we absolutely needed to, I guess we could have at least tried to YOLO something and trade. But we didn't really spot anything, although now that they're shooting, they're starting to get spotted, because one of their DDs is YOLOing into our spawn. Enemy Volvoy gets spotted because he's shooting, and he's just reversing, making himself a relatively easy target, although we're basically missing all of our shells. Kid, not one of the DDs that actually got the buff to the main battery shell velocity. Kind of wish it did, but at the same time, I mean, if Kid got any better, I mean, it's already kind of borderline hopping on that OP line, I guess. Sort of, maybe not. But enemy cruiser was just sitting there, kind of surprised he didn't try to YOLO me with his sonar and having that sonar gimmick and whatnot. But a bunch of battleships, Colorado, Scharnhorst, and a cruiser. Now that they're starting to push in, I kind of can't sit here anymore. Trying to drive away we get spotted because there's a Eastern Dragon that has just so happened reversed away from A, and well, I guess he was trying to hide from our team pushing through A. But now we have to do our best to actually hide from the other flank because, well, our detection is not the greatest, and with how close we spawn to this Eastern Dragon, it's not looking very good. It's very much a big oopsie spadudio moment, but Eastern Dragon having his turrets on the left side of his ship because he was basically looking at all of the ships pushing through A. Japanese cruisers have bad turret reverse, and at this range, Kid's AP does have enough pen to Citadel and Eastern Dragon. So right now we're using that island behind us to not get shot at by the Colorado Scharnhorst and the cruiser. And right now, well, we're just getting a bunch of Citadels and damage from the Eastern Dragon. So luckily, we were able to kill him off fairly easily, and none of the ships were able to push towards us quick enough that they're able to catch us. And now we're kind of free to leave and go maybe try to stall the enemy team from chasing our carrier. The DD that YOLO'd into our spawn, the Maz somehow survived. I mean, 2 battleships and a carrier that he's YOLOing out towards. I mean, they didn't kill him. So, I mean, I'm kind of hoping he's at least low HP. But yeah, not looking too good. All of these ships being as healthy as they are. We're definitely going to need our carrier to be alive, and our carrier is going to need to farm them for all of their HP because, well, as much as Kid is a gunboat, its fire chance being American DD and all, it's not that great. Torpedoes, anemic because you don't have range, and yeah, we're kind of hoping that we can get some help and someone else can start fires, and maybe we can get some perma fires and floods after. Enemy Maz starts shooting at our CV, so we're now just trying to max range snipe this Maz, hoping that he just sails in a straight line because he's so focused on shooting at our carrier. Shells start landing, trying to lead him as much as we possibly can, hoping that no one pings everything or spams something in the command wheel, because then we wouldn't be able to actually see the DD, because those the names and whatnot would actually block. But we're barely doing any damage just because he's so far away. But he eats a torpedo from the CV because he started looking at us and stopped paying attention to the carrier planes. And, well, he eats a torp, gets left on a sliver of HP, and we're actually able to kill him off. And now there is a Scharnhorst that decided to not chase the CV, and instead he is trying to fight our team that is chasing their CV. As we can see, their carrier is actually spotted going towards C. And, well, I'm kind of hoping that they can at least kill the carrier. You know, it's funny, we have DFAA and it is a carrier match, but we haven't seen a single plane enter our AA this entire time, which is kind of lame. I mean, we would have been able to get some, I want to say decent XP. I mean, it's a lower tier carrier of all, so ideally we would be able to shoot down some planes, although we did get shot at quite a bit, so I don't know how much AA is actually left on our ship, which would be a good change that we could see like a percentage of our AA mounts or something. But Scharnhorst pushing in towards our friendly Scharnhorst, he's not really focused on us, so we're just trying to farm him as much as we can. It doesn't seem like he has fight fire with fire, which is kind of surprising, although this is a relatively low tier, so I'm assuming they still don't know what the meta is, and probably don't even have properly leveled commanders and whatnot. So we're just gonna farm the Scharnhorst as much as we can, see if we can help our friendly Scharnhorst and keep him alive long enough that maybe he can deal enough damage to maybe one more of the battleships that are alive. But there's still a Scharnhorst and the cruiser that's still chasing our CV. I'm kind of hoping that our carrier would be able to drive away. Except it doesn't seem like he's gonna get away fast enough. I think he either slowed down thinking he can just sit on the other side of that island and farm the ships that are pushing towards him, or he, I don't know, just only set his course once and didn't have it go to the corner at the bottom left. But at this point, enemy ships are catching up. We are spotted, cruiser got super close, and carrier didn't drive away fast enough. So now we're just going to rely on him, and hopefully he survives long enough that we can actually farm these ships. I start shooting AP at the cockroach, close enough, hoping that we can do a decent amount of damage, but it doesn't seem like we're doing a whole lot. He starts angling and using smoke, so I don't know that we're going to be able to do enough damage to him. He starts turning broadside though to turn away from us, maybe assuming there's torps, and instead he eats a bunch of carrier torps. I guess pick your poison. We didn't launch any torps though, so eats a couple of them, and now we're just going to try and blind fire him in the smoke. But at this point, our friendly carrier ended up dying, so unfortunately, no more spotting and no more farming. All we can do now is just try to blind fire him as much as we can. We did set him on fire though, and we kept blind firing, so luckily we were able to finish him off. But Scharnhorst being in the cap, I think it's time for us to leave. We have a friendly Scharnhorst still alive as well, pushing towards the Colorado, which I think our Scharnhorst did get farmed by the enemy Scharnhorst and CV for quite a while, so I'm not sure how long he is going to survive. I'm just hoping the enemy Colorado doesn't kill him quick enough, and then perhaps we can just simply win on points, and then we just simply keep resetting this Scharnhorst at B, try not to let him cap. But he goes unspotted, unfortunately. He's behind my smoke, and he's not trying to blind fire anymore. But we did set him on fire, and the fire is ticking, and at this point I think we just need to run. We do have a decent points advantage here, and even if our Scharnhorst dies and they get the cap, I think we could still technically win on points because there's not a whole lot of time left in the battle. But we just keep driving away. Scharnhorst is getting somewhat close to capping B. I mean, it's already over halfway. I'm debating if I should just torp the smoke and hope for the best, or maybe try to blind fire. But as soon as I launch my torps, Scharnhorst gets spotted by our friendly Scharnhorst. Some really bad timing, otherwise we would have been able to launch those a little more accurately. But at least we're able to reset the cap, and now we don't really have to worry about him capping, especially because he's just about to leave, and now for him to turn around, it's probably going to take another 30-45 seconds or something like that, and then he'll, well, maybe even eat our torps if he tries to go to the cap. But he doesn't turn full to go towards the objective, so unfortunately our torps just miss. Even though we had no idea where he was going, we were almost able to bait him into turning into those, and then that would have actually given us our Kraken. We do want to be greedy, and I do want my Kraken because Krakens are great and all, but at the same time, Scharnhorst being as healthy as he is and our Scharnhorst dying, being the last one, that basically tied our hands to basically not throw the game. So now we're just hoping Scharnhorst pushes towards us and maybe gets close enough that we can torp him or something, but at this point probably not going to happen, so we'll just keep sailing away and avoid losing this game for our team. Scharnhorst is on fire. We take some pot shots just before we get behind the island, hoping that maybe we can get another permafire, maybe two, and then maybe that way we'll get our Kraken. But unfortunately, low fire chance, not going to happen, and at this point, less than a minute left. Not really going to be able to get him. Not with torps either. Torps are a little too slow, and we're a little too far for it to get there as soon as we really need it. We turn back to spot the Scharnhorst just to see where he is, and well, yeah, we look at the amount of time it's going to take to travel and how much time we have on reload and how much time's left in the battle. Just barely, not enough time, so unfortunately that's going to be the end to our match. We're just going to sail away and sail off into the sunset with the W, I guess. But Kid, still a fairly good destroyer. Unfortunately, we took the FAA, never saw a single plane from the carrier. Does happen sometimes, and I feel like could have been a pretty fun match if we were able to farm the carrier's planes. But yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't well, I mean, I guess it was a fun match, but not the funnest match by torturing a CV. But still, pretty good match nonetheless. We were able to do 3k XP, get our team a win as well. But yeah, Kid, it's been honestly probably 2 or 3 years since I last featured a Kid video. So yeah, I think we all know that Monty's got a little stiffy down there after this one. But yeah, Kid, Mordov, I mean, that's the ideal build for your guns, and basically kill the enemy DDs, and then the game is, well, basically over. At least it should be, unless your team absolutely throws. But yeah, Mordov, just full DPM build. Probably could have gone with like Perceptive or something, but it's like the same build that we have on our gearing anyway. So I figure probably could work. And I mean, it's not like the enemy DDs were unspotted or anything, because they were shooting and kind of doing low tier DD things. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, and share with your friends, or leave a comment down below for other ships you want to see in the future. But anyway, guys, until next time, aloha.